Walk with me.
Why do the heathen rage and the people imagine a vain thing? The kings of the earth set themselves, and the rulers take counsel together against the I Am and his anointed, saying, let us break their bands asunder and cast away their cords from us. He that sits in the heavens shall laugh, and the I Am shall have them in derision. Then shall he speak unto them in his wrath, and trouble them, or vex them in his sore displeasure. I have set my king upon my holy hill of Zion. I will declare the decree. The I Am has said unto me, thou art my son. This day I have begotten thee. Ask of me, and I shall give thee the heathen for thine inheritance. Psalms chapter 2, verse 1 through 8. Yes, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Deliver me from the hands of evil spirits who have sway over the thoughts of men's hearts, and let them not lead me astray from thee, O my God. Establish thou me and my seed forever, that we go not astray from henceforth and forevermore. Jubilees chapter 12 and verse 20. Yes, again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, those of you on TikTok and YouTube. I'm T Clay 213 on TikTok, and I'm Mr. Clay on YouTube. Yes, a very beautiful day, a very beautiful day. Yes, I thank God for all the battles and all the hardships. I thank God for the good times and bad times, because the fact is that it lets me know there's nothing like being with him. Yes, all the times where I had to pray in ditches and be subject to a lot of evil people, but God still give me that faith of Abraham to say what I have to say and let it be. Yes, and we're in the book of Jasher. Yes, the book of Jasher. The book of Jasher, chapter 12. Chapter 12 of the book of Jasher. Yes, chapter 12 of the book of Jasher. As you prepare yourself, we had just got through when we was knowing that Abraham was blessed by Nimrod, because he stood his ground even in the face of death. Yes, sometimes people want to kill you in many ways because of your stance and because of what you have caused yourself to stand on and correct people on. And they will, Nimrod, he got to the point where he wanted to kill him. He killed him. He actually did. But it didn't work. And Abraham still came out on top. Glory to God. Hallelujah. Yes, yes, yes. We thank God for that. Now in verse 68 of the 13th chapter. Now therefore hearken to my voice, and let us arise and go to the land of Canaan, out of the reach of injury from Nimrod, and serve thou the I Am who created thee in the earth, and it will be well with thee, and cast away all the vain things which thou pursuest. And he was telling his people this. Get away from your idols. Get away from your philosophies. Get away from your rantings and all these things. Get away. Leave them alone. Stop poisoning people, because a root of bitterness can come upon us. A root of paganism, leaven at the whole lump. All these things can cause us to defile many in their mindset and their thinking. He said, get away from all these vain things. That's why he said a little leaven, the whole lump. This is one of the reasons for the Feast of Unleavened Bread. This is the reason that we should have no leaven on the Sabbath day. We should not have these things, because just a little evil is more rampant than good. Evil is more rampant than truth, because evil thrives on lies. Yes. Get rid of it. He said, look, get away all the vain things that thou pursuest, these useless. And Abraham ceased to speak when Noah and his son Shem answered Terah, saying, true is the word which Abraham hath said unto thee. And Terah hearkened unto the voice of his son Abraham, and Terah did all that Abraham said, for this was from the I Am. And the king should not cause Abram's death. Chapter 13. And Terah took his son Abraham and his grandson Lot, and the son of Haran, and Sarah his daughter-in-law, and the wife of his son Abram, and all the souls of his house, and went with them from Ur to Casdim to go to the land of Canaan. See, many of us, we still have a Western mindset. We have that, what you call it, that Christianity mindset. Yes. We've been taught over the years, instead of seeing what is true and what is God. God doesn't make sense when it comes to Western thought. He doesn't make sense when it comes to your Christian or your churchy thought life because of your liberal ways that you have adopted in this world. And when they had came as far as the land of Haran, they remained there, for it was exceedingly good land for pasture, a sufficient extent for those who accompanied them. And the people of the land of Haran saw that Abraham was good and upright with God, and men that the Lord, or his God, was with him. And some of them people of the land of Haran came and joined Abram. In other words, this is how you get churches started. This is how you get congregations started, different organizations started, because people see the fruit of that labor, or what they assume is the fruit of that labor. Yes. Now, and Abraham taught them instruction. See, Abraham was a pastor too. Look at this. Abraham, prophet and pastor. Yes, here he goes. He didn't ask for these things, but because of his walk with God, these things pursued him. This is what happened. They pursued him. These things called him out. We want to learn the ways of God because we see you stand on those things that God does. You stand on those things that God have commanded you. You stand on those things is apparently what these people are saying. Now, and these men remained with Abram in his house, and they adhered to him. Yes, these are Bible stories. These are very good Bible stories. These stories are very good because even in your New Testament, doesn't he say these things are written that for your admonition that you should not lust after evil things? Come on here. Yes. Good Bible story, good history. And Abraham remained in the land 3 years, and at the expiration of 3 years, the I Am appeared to Abraham and said to him, I am the I Am who brought thee out from Ur of Casdim, and delivered thee from the hand of all thine enemies. And now, therefore, if thou wilt hearken to my voice and keep my commandments. Commandments? You said, oh, but Moses had the commandments. No, God had to reissue the commandments. My statutes and my laws. Then will I cause thine enemies to fall before thee, and I will multiply thy seed like the stars of heaven. And I will send my blessing upon all the works of thy hand. Now, when he says seeds, he's talking about from male to male to male. The male impregnates the woman either births a male or a female. Thy seed, the seed comes from the man. Yes, this is what he's talking about. He's not talking about actual DNA, but you can identify his seed through DNA, but he's talking about the father, the male. Yes, that's what he's talking about. Then will I cause thy enemies to fall before thee, and I will multiply thy seed like the stars of heaven. And I will send my blessings upon all the works of thy hand, and thou shalt lack nothing. Ha ha! That is true. He didn't say he was going to be rich. He said he shall lack nothing. Many of you want this lavish life. You want all these things. Yes, that's good if you get it. But the fact is, if you lack nothing, you have food, clothing, shelter, in this day and time, automobiles. You can get to work. You can do your business or whatever it calls you to do this and lack nothing. Because some of you do keep what God has commanded you. Yes. Then I will cause thy enemy to fall before you. And he says, now, he said, I will send my blessing upon all the works of thy hand, and thou shalt lack nothing. Arise now, take thy wife and all belonging to thee, and go to the land of Canaan, and remain there, and I will be there. I will be there, and there will be unto thee a God. I will be unto thee a God. And I will bless thee. And Abram rose and took his wife, that's Sarai, and all belongings to him, And he went to the land of Canaan as the I Am had told him. And Abram was 50 years old when he went from Haran. And Abraham came to the land of Canaan and dwelt in the midst of the city. And he there pitched his tent amongst the children of Canaan, inhabitants of the land. In other words, he went around the Hamites. In other words, this wasn't even their land. According to the book of Enoch and the book of Jubilees, this wasn't their land. This is where Canaan went and took the land that was allotted even unto Shem. And the I Am appeared to Abram when he came to the land of Canaan. See, this is where when other people go and colonize other lands, it's not because God told them. That wasn't their land from the beginning. But God sent them for a reason, to be vessels of dishonor before the testimonies of heaven. Dishonorable people. When you colonize and you take over what is another's, you steal, kill, and destroy another's, and it's not given to you by the I Am, you are a people of dishonor. How do you win your honor back? Giving back what you stole. Getting off where you, giving those lands back that you take. That's how you get the honor back from the Most High. And he will bless the land that you came from. Now, and the I Am appeared to Abraham when he came to the land of Canaan and said to him, this land which I gave unto thee and to thy seed after thee forever, I will make thy seed like the stars of heaven, and I will give unto thy seed for an inheritance all the land which thou seest. And Abraham built an altar in the place where God had spoken to him, and Abraham called upon the name of the I Am. You know, where Abraham took stones and piled them up on each other. He didn't chip the stones and made pretty brick. He just throwed them up on top of each other, and he made an altar, and he prayed. And at that time, at the end of 3 years, Abram's dwelling in the land of Canaan, in that year Noah died, which was the 58th year of the life of Abram. Yes, and all the days that Noah lived were 950 years, and he died. 950 years. Abram have seen the whole land full of thousands of children. His children, just the multiplication that have occurred. These are all mine. 950 years to see thousands, tens of thousands of his own children. Tens of thousands of his own children fighting each other, loving each other, or whichever way it could be, arguing with each other. This is what Noah saw. What a blessing. He saw a multitude that came from his loins. A multitude of his own kin, his own children, his own offspring. No other man. Moses, if anybody was a second Adam, it was Noah. And all the days that Noah lived were 950 years. Still, he did not live after longer than his father, which was 970. Adam lived 970 according to the narrative. And he died. In verse 10, Abraham dwelt in the land of Canaan, he and his wife and all belonging to him, and all those that accompanied him, together with those that joined him from the people of the land. But Nahor, Abram's brother, and Terah his father, and Lot the son of Haran, and all the belongings to them dwelt in Haran. Verse 11, in the 50th year of Abram's dwelling in the land of Canaan, the people of Sodom and Gomorrah and all the cities of the plain revolted from the power of Chedorlaomer, king of Elam. For all the kings of the city of the plains have served Chedorlaomer for 12 years and given him a yearly tax. But in those days, in the 13th year, they rebelled against him. And in the 10th year of Abraham's dwelling in the land of Canaan, there was war between Nimrod, king of Shinar, and Chedorlaomer, king of Elam. And Nimrod came to fight with Chedorlaomer and to subdue him. For Chedorlaomer was at the time one of the princes of the hosts of Nimrod. And when all the people at the tower were dispersed, and all these are sons of Noah. All of them, sons of Noah. Same DNA, same daddy. Yes. And their sky daddy, as some of you would say, is the I am, God, Yahweh, Yahuwah. The I am, the Heya, yes, their God. And he said, and when all the people of the tower were dispersed, and those that remained were also scattered upon the face of the earth, not just, these are noted places. These people that were scattered went all over the place. I mean, they were moved all over, whether it was just a man and his woman or his man and his wife or whoever. At that time, there was no wedding as we would know it today. See, many of us, we look at weddings and marriage after the Western thought pattern. We look at this thing, and it's unfair. They do not rule the earth. The Western governments and their thought ways is not the final say-so. This is why you have to respect other people's culture, because they were given that culture, and that's what they abide by. Whether God agrees with it or not, that's their culture. God will rectify all that in the end. And in the 10th year of Abraham's dwelling in the land of Canaan, there was war between the king Nimrod of Shinar and Chedorlaomer, king of Elam. And Nimrod came to fight with Chedorlaomer and to subdue him. For Chedorlaomer was at that time one of the princes of the host of Nimrod. And when all the people at the tower were dispersed, and those that remained were also scattered upon the face of the earth, Chedorlaomer went also to the land of Elam and reigned over it and rebelled against his lord, which was Nimrod. And in those days when Nimrod saw that the cities of the plain had rebelled, he came with pride. This is why when we say Lord, who are you talking to? When you say Lord, what are you referring to? Or you might see a person that's very wicked that says Lord. What is he talking to? Who is he referring to? When you say Lord, Lord God, Lord Yahweh, Lord Yahuwah, Lord Yeheya, I mean, you call his name. Because anything or any entity or anybody can be referred to as a Lord because it means owner. You might be talking to a slave master. With pride and anger to war, and Chedorlaomer and Nimrod assembled all his princes and subjects, about 700,000 men, and went against Chedorlaomer, or Chedorlaomer, and Chedorlaomer went out to meet him with 5,000 men, and they prepared. All these still the sons of Noah. I can't make this stuff up. Here are the sons of Noah coming against each other. And from that, they came from the sons of Seth. The son of Seth, which is Noah, yes. And they prepared for battle in the valley of Babel, which is between Elam and Sinai. In other words, that 3-day walk circle. This is where they're preparing for battle at. And all those kings fought there, and Nimrod and his people were smitten before Chedorlaomer. And there fell from Nimrod's men about 600,000, and Madron, the king's son, fell amongst them. And Nimrod fell and returned in shame and disgrace in his land, and he was under the subjection to Chedorlaomer for a long time. And Chedorlaomer returned to his land and sent princes. That was one of his cousins. Yeah, they are all cousins. And sent princes of his host to the kings. And they dwelt around him. And Arioch, King Elasah, to a title king of Goyim, made a covenant. Goyim? Don't they say Goyim supposed to mean Gentile? Made a covenant with them, and they were all obedient to his command. So here's about come to the end of Nimrod. And with that, we're going to say peace.